Good afternoon, everyone. Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live studio. We are about to bring a virtual press conference to you all live here on KXAN Live. This involves Williamson County Judge Bill Gravell. He's providing a briefing on the county's response to COVID-19. This comes after the county shared this morning that a third person has now died from COVID-19 in that county, and I presume that's how he's going to be starting his remarks. So let's take a listen in.
Have today.
Hey, Judge, it's Tony. Oh, excuse me.
Did I hear my Tony P out there?
You did. I am have my KView hat on and representing them in this call.
Yay, Tony. I hope you and yours are doing well, brother.
Thank you.
And Allie with Community Impact.
Allie with Community Impact. You know, Allie, my golden retriever is loving all the attention that I'm giving him now. So I imagine your dog is loving you too, huh?
She is, but who knows for how much longer before she gets annoyed of me.
Yeah. Well, I think I asked my wife that same question. What other media outlets do we have on today?
Stephen Sarabia with Fox.
I'm sorry, Stephen, I didn't hear which network you were with.
With Fox.
Was that Stephen with Fox?
Yeah, with Fox 7.
Good. All right. Are there any other outlets that are on that I've missed?
Lisa with the Williamson County Sun.
Hey, Lisa, it's good to hear
Hello.
your voice. I got to tell you, I need for you to share with Clark and Linda just the what they've done and their grit to keep print in the paper. They've been an amazing voice, and you need to tell Clark that I'm a little jealous of his editorial of him sitting on the porch with a glass of wine having a meal delivered. But
I'll let him know.
yeah, someday in the days ahead, I'll join he and Linda there for that glass of wine and that delivery. So any other outlets? I'd like to read a statement that I have, and then following that, I would like to take some questions.
Hello?
Yes.
Hello?
Hey, my name is Bill Gravell, and I'm the Williamson County Judge, and you spell that Gravell. I want to say thank you for the response of the media and covering this story. Here's a statement that I would like to share with you. The reality is, as County Judge in Williamson County, Texas, I believe we're at war. I believe we are at war against the coronavirus, and there's never been a time such as this in our nation that we have fought an enemy that is difficult to see and an enemy that has been so desperate. I would tell you as well that the loss of life in the coronavirus in America has been greater than what we saw on September the 11th. But I would also tell you that coming out of September the 11th, what we saw was the greatest unity of a nation that we've ever seen. I want to say thank you to the Central Texas residents for your support and your help, but I want to say a special thank you to the media outlets, and I want to tell you a story. This is a test kit to test for the coronavirus. And last week, by the way, Williamson County has 1,000 of these right now, and we're beginning to use these. And we have orders coming in daily. But I want to tell you where this test kit came from. So media friends, please listen. Last week when we did the live interview, there was a lady who is a former resident of Williamson County who lives up in the Metroplex. And somehow online, she checked the local media and the local stories that was going on, and she found out that we were short or we didn't have any test kits. She sent me a message on LinkedIn, and within a matter of a few hours, we were put in touch with a company called AIT Laboratories that's based out of Georgia, I believe, and we were able to place an order. Today, we're going to be able to test our first responders, our doctors and our nurses, or anyone that's potentially been exposed that's out there protecting us. And I first just want to say to the media, I told you last week that what your job is and what you do is important. But I want you to know that because today we have test kits here because of the story that was conveyed, I just want to say thank you to you. I know for those members of the media, some of you have lost your job, but yet you're still working. Some of you have had reduced pay, but yet you're still working. Some of you have been furloughed, but you chose not to walk away. You chose to stand there and stay there. And I want you to know, as county judge, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for standing with me and thank you for standing for us in this war that we're in. Now, this battle is going to be a few days. And there will be losses, and there will be those who get ill, and there will be many that survive. But I want you to know that you and the media and our community have responded so favorably to every need that we're meeting the needs that can't be met in other places. I'm also proud to announce that starting this Wednesday, we are opening a wing at a nursing home that is exclusively for patients that are nursing home residents that have tested COVID-19 positive. And we're able to isolate them in that nursing care facility and to take care of them with doctors and nurses. I want you to know that we're working as hard as we can to take care of not only our most valuable population, our senior adults, but our most vulnerable population as well. I want to encourage all of the residents to follow the CDC recommendation and to wear the cloth face mask in public, such as grocery stores, pharmacies, and in public, if you have those. I want to talk to you about something that we've created today, and it came from the community. There are some young moms that own some embroidery equipment, and they usually work and make extra money for their home. But now we have multiple young moms who have transitioned their equipment with their embroidery machines, and some that are hand sewn, into making face masks for our first responders and for our most vulnerable population. I want to say thank you, but I also want to say this out loud. If you'll go to our website, wilco.org, and then there's a link for where you can drop off donations. Under that donations link where you can drop off supplies that can be used for first responders, there's even directions now from the CDC on how to manufacture face masks. I want to ask anyone in Central Texas who has the ability to sew, who has fabric, who has elastic, we need your help. And as county judge, I'm calling on you to help us. Listen, this group of young moms is beginning the production of about 500 masks a day, but I have to tell you the story. The fabric's being picked up from a local store. It's being divided between 12 wonderful ladies in Sun City. And those wonderful ladies in isolation in their home, they're cutting that material out, they're ironing it, and they're getting it ready. And then it's transitioned from their home in Sun City to where one of these young mothers live at with these embroidery machines, and they're sewing them up. I want you to know that the volunteerism and the entrepreneurialism that's occurring is really important. And by the way, nobody's doing this for any cost. And do you know why? Because we're in a time of war. And during war, we call on all people and all good men and women and young mamas and senior mamas, where you can, let us work together to protect our community. I want to remind you as well that social distancing really is the best tool in defeating the coronavirus and to saving lives. I want you to know that today we had our third loss of life here in Williamson County that was attributed to COVID-19. And I want you to know, to that family, I would simply say this to you. I'm heartbroken at your loss. And as your county judge, I mourn with you. And the rest of our residents in Central Texas mourn with you as well. For those family members that have loved ones in hospitals on ventilators that are fighting for their lives, you need to know that this county stands with you to provide the resources necessary not only to our firefighters and paramedics, but also to our local hospitals. You are not alone. We stand with you, and we stand with you in Central Texas. You need to remember that we're fighting against a disease, and it is a war that will require sacrifice on everyone's part, whether it's sewing late at night while the kids are asleep, whether it's praying for your neighbor or friend, or taking a gallon of milk to a senior adult who needs that and putting it on their porch and wiping it off with a Clorox wipe first. All people need to come together for this cause. I want to say again to the media, if it weren't for you, I don't know where Williamson County would be at today. You've been an answered prayer and a blessing, but this is just the beginning of what we need.
Wow.
At this time, I'll take some questions, and as you could understand, my time is limited, but I want to say this. Did you guys all catch that? If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have test kits. Did you grab that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It is, but it's only the start, guys. You're going to tell this story. Today, Commissioner Valerie Covey is leading an effort on behalf of Williamson County, and she's reaching out to every factory in Williamson County that manufactures something. And we're asking them the question, can you change what you manufacture to manufacturing something different? Let me give you an example. There's a company, a 3D printing company in Hutto that right now is manufacturing face shields. By this afternoon, are you ready for this? Eastview High School that has a section with a few 3D printers is beginning to manufacture face shields at that local high school. The family's coming together to work together to provide the resources for what we need. So if you have a question, could I just work down my list? And then that way we make sure we cover everybody.
I've got them right here.
Do you have them? Oh, do you have the questions?
Yes.
Okay, Connie, go ahead.
So first question is, how many test kits did we get from the company?
We received this morning at 9:44 a.m. 1,000 test kits.
Are any deaths from nursing homes being tested for COVID?
I think in the next few days that all of the decedents that are in the care of area nursing homes, funeral homes within Williamson County will be tested. To my knowledge, there is no one that is living at a Williamson County nursing home through this morning's 10 a.m. report that is tested positive for COVID-19.
Can you give any more details on the nursing home, where it's located and how many seniors can be there?
So it is a nursing home located in Round Rock, and for security reasons, I would like to keep that confidential, and I think you would understand that. I don't know the exact number of beds that will be there, but it's quite a few, and more importantly, it has doctors and nurses. And so we have the medical staff there. Our seniors, God forbid someone were to test positive, now we have a good, safe place to put them and to care for them as they walk through this.
And how much did the kits cost? And did you have to bid against any other counties or states?
The kits were $70 a piece, so it was $70,000.
Okay. Are seniors in nursing homes being tested?
There have been some senior adults in nursing homes that was showing some conditions that were presenting, and out of an abundance of caution, the quantity that we had at the health district, we used to test our seniors. Listen, our number one priority is to take care of our most vulnerable population, and we'll use any and all of the resources we have, not only to take care of them, but protect them. And listen, I know that we don't have a senior that's tested positive, but as I remember the story in the Bible, and forgive me for being biblical, Noah didn't build the ark when it was raining. Noah built the ark when it was dry. The reason why we have the nursing home, the reason why we're forward leaning in a few other areas is we're not sure of what could happen, but I am not going to have Williamson County not have all options available when the storm continues.
I don't have any other questions right now. Oh, wait, here's one. One just came in. How many more rounds of kits or number of kits will be coming in the foreseeable future?
A lot. I am forward leaning. Our county is forward leaning. Our commissioners court, we're a family and we're forward leaning. We will get the resources necessary here to protect our citizens. Listen, when it's over with, if I have 1,000 test kits left over and the pandemic's gone by and there might be criticism for that, I will smile because I would rather have too many than not enough.
Okay.
There may be, I heard one or two on the line that wanted to say something.
Yeah, this is Mike at the Independent. If it's possible to ask another question or two.
Go ahead, Mike. I'm in a great mood today, brother. God's provided many good things for Williamson County.
Judge.
Go ahead. What's your question?
So I know there was a telephone conference. I think it was Thursday evening with church leaders across the county, and I just wanted to get kind of that's a big news issue nationwide. I didn't know if it was really an issue here, and I wanted to find out what your response was from that meeting that you had.
I think that's great. I think we had over 80 pastors or church leaders chime in. What I did is I explained to them what our county orders were, and then I explained to them what the governor's orders were. And in fact, in our county orders, it's the only place that we had a difference. And the difference in the governor's orders, well, governor's orders were the same as ours, in that if you have the ability to worship via technology, we would encourage you to do that. If you're in such a church that doesn't have that technological ability and that pastor chooses to gather together to worship, that is his or her discretion as long as social distancing occurs. So, Mike, I laid that out for the pastors, but then I also said to them this: I can tell you the number of cases we have. I can tell you what my greatest concerns are. And I can tell you that if you put a 2-year-old in the same room as an 80-year-old, you could be risking someone potential exposure. And then I said to them, but the governor says it's your discretion on what you do. And then one pastor, Pastor Mark Westerfield, who's been in ministry over 30 years in Round Rock, said something very close to this. He said, Judge, we may have the ability to do that, but just because we can doesn't mean that we should. And I believe, Judge, that if we do have church services, that would be disrespecting our local authority. And you are our local authority, and we respect you. And then, Mike, following that, probably 5 or 6 pastors chimed in and said the exact same thing. I gave them the option. I don't actually know what most of them did Sunday. I sat with my wife, and we worshiped together Sunday on our computer. So I don't know how it is out there in the real world, Mike.
Okay.
Is there an issue in the county with getting masks, the N95 mask?
There is. Yes, ma'am.
What's being done about it?
What's being done about it? Well, I want you to know that we have tried to buy masks from here to China, and it may be one of the most precious commodities to find in the world. And so we're doing what Williamson County's always done. We're rolling up our sleeves. We're doing it the Wilco way. And if we can't find it, we're going to create it. Just like behind me, you see the hand cleaning solution that was manufactured by one of our local breweries. The masks are a precious commodity. And because of that, we're manufacturing these cloth masks. And we're just trying to be forward leaning. But Claire, that's not the only, every item that you could imagine is in short supply. Every item.
We have a couple more questions on through Teams. Will you be rationing tests on a per day basis?
Well, first of all, no, we're not going to be rationing tests. I trust Dr. Palazzo at the health district, and she set the appropriate policies, and she'll be using the test as needed.
And is the county looking at providing temporary housing for healthcare workers that feel they've been exposed and cannot go home?
Well, I would tell you this, that this county judge is preparing the ARC, and not only do we have contingency housing for health district workers, we have several other contingency plans. We are being forward leaning to protect everyone. All right, any other questions?
Are
Yeah,
y'all saying
one
where
more-
the temporary hospital might be yet?
Yes, what I would tell you is this. I got my numbers off a little bit last week. The facility is 325,000 square feet. It's multi-stories. It has the capacity for a minimum of 1,500 patients and could be even larger. What I would say is this, is we're just trying to prepare the space in the eventuality that one might be needed. And if it were needed, we are absolutely counting on our state and federal authorities to bring the doctors and nurses here to operate this low-level care center. Claire, we don't have the people resources to operate that, but what we do have is a private company that has been amazingly gracious, and they have their employees working 24/7 to make this space ready for something we may need in the days ahead. And by the way, if we make it ready and we don't need it in the days ahead, I'll be the happiest judge in Texas. All right, thank you guys so much. I think we'll see you again on Wednesday. Hey, whoever did this, I think there may be a special place for you in heaven. Bye, guys. Have a good day.
All right, everyone. Will Dupree once again in the KXAN live studio. We just wrapped up this video conference call with Williamson County Judge Bill Gravell, and he shared quite a bit that we want to recount if you're just joining us. First of all, he highlighted and showed just a moment ago one of the COVID-19 test kits that Williamson County has now received. He said that a private lab has now sent that to the county, and the county has received 1,000 of those tests. They also came at a cost to the county. He was saying that they've spent $70,000 on that particular purchase to be able to have those tests in the area. I'm just looking at my notes one more time to make sure I have everything correct on that. And he also is extending condolences to the family of a third person who has now died from COVID-19 in Williamson County. It's been revealed that it's a woman in her 60s. That's all the information that's being shared right now by Williamson County because of privacy concerns from that woman's family. That's all the information they wanted to be able to share at this time. So that's all we can say, but unfortunately another loss to be able to share there. If you take a look, these are the latest numbers from our most popular counties, most populous counties, I should say. Let me get the wording correct there. In Travis County now, there are 484 positive COVID-19 cases, along with 6 deaths. In Williamson County, it's been confirmed today that there are now 81 positive cases and 3 deaths there. Hayes County stands at 54. If you take a look at our viewing area now, here's where the numbers stand at this point. We have our first confirmed death in Bastrop County, along with 11 confirmed COVID-19 cases. That is the latest number that we've got from there. That was a bit of a surprise. And there you can see one more time that Hayes, Travis, and Williamson counties have by far the most case numbers in our particular area that we serve here at KXAN. I was just taking a moment to look through our Facebook Live comments. If you're watching us here on KXAN Live on that particular platform, someone is asking where these particular test kits came from for COVID-19 that Williamson County received today. That information is not being shared at this time by the county. However, they said it was a private lab company that sent these test kits to Williamson County, and they were received today, 1,000 of them, and they will be prioritized for first responders, doctors, nurses, and the most vulnerable people within Williamson County. That's at least what the county judge, Bill Gravell, just said just a few moments ago as he wrapped up his video conference call with other reporters here in Austin. He also said that starting on Wednesday, a nursing home facility in Round Rock is going to open up a wing designated for patients diagnosed with COVID-19 that do not require hospitalization. They are unable to say right now where that particular facility is or what its name is. They're also not able to say at this point how many beds could be available, but they did say that at this particular facility, medical staff members, doctors, nurses, those kinds of people would be available to work with those patients particularly. He also highlighted and thanked some mothers in the area who are making cloth face masks for first responders and the most vulnerable, since now the CDC is recommending that we all wear face masks when we go out in public to do things like go to the grocery store or go to fill up our cars with gas. So he wanted to say thank you to those people there. He also mentioned, and I thought this was particularly of interest, we've heard a lot about personal protective equipment for medical staff members being at such short supply. And he mentioned that a company in Hutto and Eastview High School are going to be 3D printing face shields for those particular medical personnel and first responders. That's at least we would like to look more into that and try to find out some additional information to see if it would fit what medical staff members can use within their facilities, within their hospitals. So that was one thing he shared a moment ago. Just to circle back to everything we've been discussing here, Williamson County has reported its third death from COVID-19. A woman in her 60s is this latest victim. There was another death reported this weekend, unfortunately to say. The Williamson County judge is also saying that a private lab has sent Williamson County 1,000 COVID-19 test kits that came with a price tag of about $70,000 that the county shelled out to be able to expand its testing capacity in that area. So these are all things that we're trying right now to kind of go through and share on our website. We'll have an updated web story here coming up shortly on KXAN.com and the KXAN News app. I'll also tell you that the Governor Greg Abbott is set to speak and hold another press conference at about 2 o'clock, and we will stream that live on KXAN.com, the KXAN News mobile app, and on the KXAN News Facebook page. So please stay with us for that. We will carry that live once again, a press conference with Governor Greg Abbott. We thank you all for watching. I'm going to prepare for that stream now, and we will update information about what Williamson County is doing. So please stay with us, and we thank you all for trusting KXAN to share this information with all of you. So please stay home, if at all possible, and healthy and safe. And we'll see you back here at about 2 o'clock.